and today we're going to talk about the post-closing possession agreement. Now, this is a new document that was added in 2023, and it is in your library, and I want to make sure you guys are aware of it because we are coming across situations now where the seller might retain possession after closing for an extended period of time, and this breaks out the details on how that is going to transition. So let's go over this together. The top part talks about the property address, who the buyer and the seller are. And then it goes on to talk about occupancy. It says buyer permits seller to occupy the property following closing and shall surrender possession to buyer on date and time. Seller shall pay buyer so much money per day for use of the property commencing the date of closing and continuing each day until possession is surrendered to buyer. Possession will be deemed surrendered upon seller vacating the property. All obligations hereunder shall continue until seller surrenders the property, and payment shall be made as follows. Guys, there's several different ways you can make payment, right? In the event the seller remains in possession of the property after the surrender date, seller shall pay so much money per day to the buyer until the property is surrendered. Then it goes on to talk about maintenance. Seller shall maintain the property and all improvements, appliances, and fixtures therein in the same condition as of the date of closing, excluding reasonable wear and tear. Delivery of possession. Seller shall deliver the property vacant and clear of trash and debris, and in the condition of the terms provided in this agreement, seller shall deliver all keys, key fobs, codes, and digital keys, if any. Buyer shall be entitled to a final walkthrough prior to taking possession of the property. That is a big question that always comes up. Can we do a walkthrough even though they have possession after closing? You can also say that we have a security deposit. So it goes on to say the seller agrees to pay a security deposit in the amount of so much money immediately following closing. Such amount will be returned to seller within 10 days of surrendering possession of the property, as agreed in paragraph B. In the event the seller's security deposit is insufficient to repair all damage caused by seller, seller shall be responsible for payment of any additional costs. Also goes on to talk about insurance. It is understood that from the date of closing, buyer shall not be liable for any damage to destruction or theft of seller's personal property. Buyer shall maintain policy of fire and extended coverage on the property satisfactory to the parties. Seller assumes all risks and responsibility for accident, injury, and or damage to persons and or property arising from seller's use of the property. And seller shall insure such risks by having standard liability insurance satisfactory to both parties. It goes on to say who's going to pay for the utilities. It is also saying that it is the intent of the parties that this agreement is a condition of the sale of the property, is not intended to be a rental agreement. And then it goes on to page 2, talks about default, release, and then there's further conditions, and then both parties will sign on page 2. So guys, keep in mind, if you're going to be in a situation, which we're starting to see again more times than not, where the seller's going to retain possession because we want to try to make our offer look good, just make sure that you know that you've got this document available in your library. And as always, guys, if you ever need anything, please give us a holler here at Agent Development. We're an email, phone call, or text away. We'll see you at the next document of the week.